again quickly what you need. So you just need your roller or your towels rolled up. You need your prickle balls, your Pilates ball, your strap, and then have a towel. Have a folded towel as well. You might not need it, but it's best to have it just in case you do want it. That's all you need. And then place your towel or your roller along your mat. And we're going to get started. So lie yourself down onto your back, making sure that your head is also on. Have your feet as wide as you need to make yourself nice and stable so that you don't feel like you're going to fall off. And let's just take some deep breaths here. So you're trying to soften through your body so that you're not gripping and holding yourself away. You're letting everything just sink down. The more relaxed you can be, the deeper that release is going to be. And remember, if it ever feels like it's just too much, you can come off at any time. And you've got the option of using the roller, or like I say, a couple of towels rolled together is a really nice, more gentle release. So you've always got that option. So just slowing your breath down here. Starting to release any tension through your back. So we're going to move everything today, but we're going to really focus on shoulder and neck work as well. And we're going to start with some shoulders. So we're going to take our arms out to the side, to that T position. So don't bring them all the way to the floor, just kind of have them hovering off the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly, slowly bring the hands up towards the sky and bringing those palms together. So your palms are going to meet. And then we're going to open those arms out again. So just move nice and slowly. Just go to where it feels okay for you. You can absolutely come all the way to the floor if that feels nice. But you don't feel that you have to if it's a strain. Bringing the hands all the way up to meet again overhead. And then opening out. Nice and slow. Just notice how your shoulders are feeling, any clicking, any cracking, anything there. We're going to do one more like this. And as your arms come down towards the floor this time, we're going to turn them over so the palms are facing down now. And the same thing, we're going to slowly bring the hands up so the backs of the hands meet. And then opening out again. You're in control. You can make this movement as big or as small as you like. Let's do one more time here. And then again, as your hands come down towards the floor this time, we're going to turn the hands so the palms are facing towards your feet. So this time as the hands meet, it's going to be the thumbs that are going to touch and you're kind of looking at the backs of your hands. And then opening out again. So we're just moving those shoulders in all directions, trying to release tension all around and trying not to leave any little nooks or crannies that we've not moved this morning. And then as you open out towards the floor again this time, we're going to flip the hands one more time. We're going to turn them this time so that your palms are facing towards your head. Your thumbs are kind of down towards the floor. And then as you bring your hands together overhead, you can see your palms and it's your little fingers that are going to meet this time. And then opening out. Again, just opening out as far as feels okay for you. One more time. And as you open out this time, just turn your hands over, letting your palms come down towards the floor, and just let your arms rest on the floor. Let your shoulders just relax down. Let's just hold here for a couple of breaths. We're going to float our arms again up towards the ceiling. Palms are facing in towards each other. Keeping those arms nice and long, we're going to reach our fingertips up towards the sky. Feel how your shoulder blades move away from your towel or your roller. And then we're going to lower the shoulder blades so that they anchor back down, or you can feel them touching the edge of your towel or your roller. Arms stay straight. Reach the fingers up to the sky and then lowering down. So it's almost like you're thinking about anchoring your arm bone in that shoulder socket as it comes back down. So we reach and then we lower down. Let's just do a couple more like that. This is nice for releasing tension between your shoulder blades in your upper back. Last one. And again, as you lower your shoulder blades this time and you anchor that arm bone in the socket, let's float the arms back down towards the floor. We're going to take our awareness down towards our pelvis now for a little pelvic tilt. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, tilt your pelvis towards you. As you inhale, just rolling it back into that neutral position. Exhale, tilt towards you. Again, make this movement small. It's kind of, if you're on a roller, it's quite hard, that roller. And it just takes a little bit for your body to relax enough to release into it. So don't force it, and if it doesn't feel right to you today, just don't do this movement. We're just rolling, trying to release that lower back. A little bit of movement around your pelvis. And then as you roll your pelvis into that more neutral position this time, I'm going to hold it here and we're going to take it into a single knee fold. So we're going to keep our arms down on the floor. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, can you bring one leg into that tabletop position? Inhale as you lower that leg back down to the floor, and exhale as you bring the other leg up this time. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you lift. That's where the work is, in lifting that leg, and that's where we want our abdominals to work. Nice and gentle. You can go at your own pace. Move with the flow of your breath. Now do two more. Making this your last one. And as you lower your leg down this time, we're going to gently just slide off your towel or your roller. Just kind of ooze yourself off to the side and then just lie down on your back. And just allow your body to integrate that sensation. You can choose if you want those knees bent or you want to straighten those legs out long. And just hold here for a couple of breaths. I always really enjoy that sensation of just my back being completely flat. It's almost like your spine is missing, like there's a trench where your spine used to be. And let's just enjoy that for a couple more breaths. And then I'm just going to move some bits out of the way because I'm not feeling myself enough space. I'm going to do some floor angels here. So just making sure you've got enough room and you haven't got all of your toys in the way like I have. We're going to stay just on the floor, and you can have your legs out long or you can have your knees bent, whichever feels good to you. I'm going to do those little floor angels, so backs of the hands are on the floor, and we're going to slowly slide the arms out along the floor and up towards your head. Just take them as far as you can keep those ribs down, so if the ribs lift, don't go any further. And then slowly slide them back down. Let's do that a couple more times, little floor angels here, so really nice for your shoulders. Again, just going at your own pace. Let's do one more time. And as as your arms come back down towards your hips this time, we're just going to hold it there. Grab your little inflatable Pilates ball and we're going to pop it under our pelvis. You're going to press into your heels to lift your hips so that you can pop that ball under your bottom. And then we're just going to hold here for a moment, just letting your body just settle. And then we're going to go back to that pelvic tilt again. So when you're ready, you're going to tilt your pelvis towards you and then tilt it back into a more neutral position. Again, just go as far as feels okay for you. It doesn't have to be a big movement. And we're using this to release any tension around the pelvis and that lower back again. It's a little bit nicer on this ball than it is on your roller. Let's take it into that single knee fold like we did. So we're going to keep that pelvis in a fairly neutral position to start. Take a breath in as you exhale, bringing that leg into a tabletop. And then inhale to lower and exhale as you lift the other leg. And again, we're just going to keep switching sides. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. And if your pelvis wants to tilt forwards and backwards here, this is fine. We're using this as a release. Let's do one more on each side. And then we're going to bring that leg into tabletop this time. And we're going to hold it there. And we're going to start to straighten that leg out a little bit. It doesn't have to be fully straight, but let's straighten it out a little bit. And then keeping that leg straight-ish, we're going to lower it down towards the floor. Just take it as low as feels okay for you. And then we're going to lift that leg back up. And we're going to bend it back into tabletop and place that foot back down on the floor. Let's do the same on the other side. So bring it into tabletop first, straightening that leg out, and then just lowering that leg down. Bringing it back up, bending that leg back into tabletop and placing it down. So again, we're just going to keep switching sides. You can go as quickly or as slowly as you like. Just noticing any sensations that your body is sending you. While you're here, just check in with what's happening with your face. Are you frowning? Are you clenching your teeth? How's your neck and shoulders feel? Can you find maybe a little bit more softness there? One more on this side. And then as you bring that knee back into tabletop, we're going to place that foot back down on the floor. Let's just hold here for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to take it into that leg slide. We're going to try and keep our foot in contact with the floor as we slide one leg out long on the floor. Once that leg is fully straight, can you push out through your heel and pull the front of the foot towards you so we're really lengthening out the back of the leg? And then we're just going to slide that leg back in. Try the other side. Can you slide your leg out along the floor? Once it's fully straight, push out through your heel, pull the front of the foot towards you, get that length, and then slide that leg back in. And we're going to keep going with that, nice and slow. If you feel stable and you want to add a little bit onto this, as you slide your leg out this time, we're going to take the opposite arm and it's going to go up and overhead as you slide that leg out. You're going to reach through your fingertips and then push that through your heel, pull the front of the foot towards you, creating length, and then just slowly bring them both back in. Try the other side. If you don't feel stable enough and you don't want to take both one hand away from the floor, you don't have to. You can just stay with the legs. But if you feel okay with that, and that's no problem, and you're not falling off the ball, maybe you want to try both arms. So as one leg goes out long, can you take both arms overhead? Again, pushing out through the heel, pulling the toes towards you, reaching those fingers overhead. And then just gently bring them back in. Try the other side. You can stick with one arm, you can stick with just the legs. Do what's right for you. Let's do one more time on each side. Pushing out through that heel. And then as you bring your leg in this time, we're going to hold there. We're going to bring one knee in towards our chest. And then we're going to see if we can bring that other leg in as well. So we've got both legs in. Can you find your balance? Are you nice and stable here? Can you cross your ankles? You've got one ankle crossed over the other, and then let your knees kind of open out to the sides. You can keep your arms down on the floor if you want to, or you can hold onto those knees and pull those knees a little bit closer into your chest. And we're going to hold and take some deep breaths here. So this is a real nice release for your thoracic spine, which is your upper back. You know, that kind of curved upper back area. This is a nice gentle release for there. So let's hold and take a couple of breaths. Alright, and then when you're ready, we're going to release those legs one at a time, back down to the floor. Pressing into your heels, lift your bottom so you can take that ball out from underneath. And then lower your bottom back down onto the floor. Again, let's take a moment to integrate that into our body. You can choose to keep your knees bent or straighten those legs out long, whichever feels good to you. Let's take some deep breaths. So when you're ready, we're going to grab our little spiky prickle balls. I'm going to pop them under our bottom, so you've got one on each cheek. So again, press into your heels to lift your bottom, and then you can place those balls there. Remember, you can move them around. Sometimes you need to kind of just adjust them a little bit. Feel free at any point. So we're just going to swing our hips side to side, rolling across your bottom. So one of the things I find really interesting about the glute work is that we have around 70 trigger points in our glutes. I mean, they're not that big, but 70 of these little trigger points. And a trigger point is like an area of tension, like a little hot spot in your fascia. So, and there's so many connections, there's so many things that kind of run through your glutes. But this is why we spend quite a lot of time doing our pelvis and our glutes, because there tends to be quite a lot of these little trigger points there. But that blows my mind, 70. So we're just gently rocking our hips from side to side. And if you find, like when we roll our feet out, if you find somewhere that feels like, oh, that's definitely a little hot spot, that's definitely a little trigger point, you can kind of just hold it there, or just roll that little bit. I kind of like to move around, try and cover the whole area so that I've not left any little bit unpummeled. I don't know if it's the balls creaking, the mat creaking, or me, I'm not sure this morning. It could be all of us. Okay, coming to a rest in the centre. Let's take it into that knee drop. So we've got our feet and knees hip distance apart. And on an inhale, I want you to let one knee just drop out to the side, and then exhale to bring that knee back up towards the sky. Do the same on the other side. Inhale as that knee drops out, and exhale to bring it back up. And we're just going to go gently from side to side. Now normally, when we do the knee drop in most of my other classes, I say keep your pelvis super, super stable. With this, Doesn't really matter, we want to release. So if your pelvis kind of wants to go with the knee, that's fine. If this other knee wants to move, let it do that. Your body's so clever and it knows what it needs to do to unwind tension. So with these classes, it doesn't really matter. We're not too concerned about holding everything still because we're not particularly trying to stabilise and strengthen. Here it's more about release. So let your body do and go where it wants to go. As you drop your knee out to the side this time, hold it there. And then we're going to lift that knee closer towards you and then lower that leg back down and bring that knee back in. Same on the other side. So knee drops out, we bring the knee closer. I always say knee to shoulder, but it's not going to quite go that far. Lowering that leg back down and bringing it all the way back in. Keep switching side, knee drops out. Knee lifts, lowers, and comes back in. If you want to go with the breath, you can. If you want to just breathe normally, you can. I like to inhale as the leg drops out. Exhale to bring it in towards my shoulder. Inhale to lower the leg back down. And exhale to bring it all the way back in. Other side, inhale, leg drops out. Exhale, bring knee into shoulder. Inhale, leg goes back down. And exhale, knee back to the sky. So just try that a couple more times. Tuning into your body, any sensations, any messages it's sending you. Good. Last one. And then just coming back into centre. Let's just have a little swing of those hips again, a little sachet, a little salsa here. Okay, and then just adjusting. So we're going to bring one leg up into that tabletop position. And we're going to do a circle with this knee. So imagine you've got a pencil on that knee and we're going to draw a circle on the ceiling. Can you just do some little circles here? We're going to keep it quite small. And I'm thinking about almost drawing a spiral. So I kind of started small and I'm starting to make that circle a little bit bigger. Shall we reverse and go the other way? Let's go small again. So start super small. And then think about drawing a little spiral and making that circle bigger. And again, if your body's wanting to rock and roll a little bit here, let it do that. It's a weekend. You can do anything at the weekend. All chilled, all relaxed. All right, lowering that leg down to the floor. Let's do the other side. So bring the knee up. And that circle starts small. Start to draw your spiral. How does it feel on this side? Is it different? How's your hip feel? You can keep it small if your hip's not happy, if it's clunky. Reverse, go the other way, small. And then starting to spiral out. Nice. Alright, when you're ready, lowering that leg down. Do your little salsa, do your little hip shift side to side. Can you grab your strap from where you are? If not, just grab your strap and then come back and place those balls under your bottom again. I try and have everything within grabbing distance. Doesn't always work. Okay, so we've got the balls under our bottom and we're going to place one foot into the strap. And we're going to keep our other leg bent today. So we've got one ball. We've got one leg in the strap and two balls under our bottom. And we're going to lower the leg in the strap down towards the floor and then lift it back up towards the ceiling. Let's do that a few times. Lower and lift. As you come up towards the ceiling this time, let's hold it there. And then let's take the leg out to the side and bring it across. Doesn't have to be big, but we're going out to the side and across. Good. And then this time, as you take your leg out to the side, we're going to hold it there. We're going to do a little sweep, so it's going to go from out to the side, down towards your other foot, and then back out to the side. So it's just like a little arc as we go out and down. Again, you can't do anything wrong here. So if you're not quite sure whether you're arcing or what you're doing with your leg, just give it a little swing out to the side. All right, as your leg comes down towards the foot this time, lift it back up towards the ceiling because we're just going to switch sides and place the strap on the other foot. Again, free leg is just bent. Leg in the strap, and we're going to lower and lift that leg. As you bring that leg up towards the ceiling this time, let's take it out and across. Again, make it big, make it small, do what feels good to you. As you take that leg out to the side this time, again hold, and let's do our little arc down towards the other foot and then back out to the side. If your other knee's wanting to drop out to the side, let it do that. Good. Last one here. And then as your leg goes down towards the foot, lift it up to the ceiling and then just bend that knee and get rid of your strap. Last little shimmy shimmy with those balls under your bottom. And then press into your heels, lift the balls away. And lower your bottom down. Knees bent or legs out long. You can choose whichever feels good to you. And let's again hold for a few breaths and just let your body integrate that sensation. Do you feel like your bottom's missing? Like you've got no glutes at all, or like you've sunk down and you're now part of the floor? It's such a good sensation, such a feeling of just relaxation. Couple of breaths here. Okay, so we're going to roll over onto our front now. We're going to start to do some more shoulder work. So when you're ready, gently roll yourself onto your front. And we're going to have our arms out to a T. So arms out to a T, and then just rest your forehead down on the floor. So just to make sure that you're not compressing your lower back, have your legs hip distance apart. Anchoring your pubic bone and slightly tucking that tailbone. It's just going to stop that tendency to tilt your pelvis the other way and tighten and shorten that lower back. Okay, so we've got our forehead down, we've got our arms out to a T and your palms are facing down. All I want you to do is to press into your hands and just lift the back of your head. So it's a little tiny back extension. And then I want you to turn your head to one side, and whichever side you're looking, I want you to lower the opposite shoulder down towards the floor first. So you're going to lower the shoulder down to the floor and then lower your head, and your head's going to stay turned to that side. And we're going to hold here for 2 breaths. And we do the same on the other side. We're going to press into the hands. We're going to lift the head, finding that back extension. Turn your head over to the other side. So again, we're going to lower the shoulder first. So the opposite shoulder this time. So drop that shoulder down to the floor. And then lower your head. And let's hold here 2 breaths. When you're ready, again, press into those hands. A little bit of back extension, head comes up, head turns to the other side. Lowering that shoulder first, and then your head. Couple of breaths. We're going to do one more time on the other side. Press into your hands, lift, head turns to the side, dropping that shoulder, and then your head. 2 breaths. Good. And then just relax. Then we're going to stay on our front, and we're going to grab our little prickle balls. And this might be where you might want a folded towel. We're going to place the prickle balls right in the front of our shoulder. So it doesn't want to be on your arm, it wants to be just to the inside of the arm, where the arm and the shoulder meet. And we're going to place the balls there. Now you might want to have a towel under your head if it feels uncomfortable for you. But also, if you're rather blessed in the chest department, it might not be that comfortable. So you might want to move your towel down and have it just under your boobs, but kind of on your rib cage, just to give you a little bit of space. So feel free to kind of play around with that. I'm going to see how I feel first before I decide whether I need the towel. But place those balls right kind of where the arm and the shoulder meet, and then you can choose where your arms are going to go, whether they just want to go down by your sides, whether you want to keep them out to that T, you can take them forwards. Feel free to kind of move them around a little bit. It's completely up to you and how it feels in your body. I'm going to place my towel under my head, and I'm going to turn my head to the side. You can have your forehead straight down, or you can have your head to the side. If you choose to have your head to the side, take a few breaths and then turn your head to the other side as well. And you're just going to allow your body to relax down. You're going to allow your body to sink into those balls, because again, the more relaxed you are, the deeper release we're going to get here. So remember, when we're using these little prickle balls, it's okay if you feel like a burning sensation. She says it's okay. Like a bruise sensation. The only thing that's not okay is if you get that nerve, like an electric shock type feeling. And if you do get that, just come straight off the balls and then just lie down and have a rest. Sometimes if you have a trapped nerve, it can irritate it, and that's what we're always looking out for. But any other sensation, as long as you can cope with it, is okay. So if you chose to turn your head to one side like I did, turn your head to the other side now. Maybe try a different arm position. Again, just try and relax down. Try not to hold yourself away from the balls, allowing yourself to just gently sink down. Good, okay. We're going to come up and onto our side. We're going to place one ball in our armpit. This is a real nice shoulder release. So you just need one ball. And we're going to place it right into your armpit. Other arm out long. And I like palm facing up. And then have your knees bent. And then you can have your free arm here on the floor so that you can kind of guide how much pressure you're going to use with this ball. Let's just gently rock forwards and backwards, so you're adding more pressure and then taking it away. So you can use this front arm to help with that. So this is a super important movement. So not only does it release the shoulders, but I've probably mentioned to you before, it really helps to get the lymphatic fluid moving in our body. So your lymphatic system is kind of the bin man of the body. The lymphatic system goes around and gets rid of all of the waste product from your cells and expels it from the body. Now the lymphatic system, it's not a circulation system, it doesn't move with the heart beating, it only moves through movement. So areas that don't move very well, we tend to get a build-up of those waste products from the cells, and unfortunately one of those areas tends to be the underarms. So we need to get as much movement. That's why I'm always banging on about getting your arms over your head and all of that. So particularly for women, we don't want waste products and toxic products anywhere near our breasts, because obviously we just don't want anything there that shouldn't be there. So a real good way to check is next time you're jumping out the shower, put your hand kind of behind your head and have a look at your armpit in the mirror. And it should be like a little hollow. And they say it should be like you could pop a little egg there. And if you've got like that little hollow, it's a sign that everything is really nice and healthy and that you don't have a build-up of that lymphatic fluid. If it's a little bit swollen and it's a little bit more sticking out than curving in, this is really good. And just any movements to get that circulation, get that lymphatic system moving. All right, we're going to sit up now, so just roll yourself gently off that ball. Come to a seated position for a minute, because we just want to see if we feel any different one side to the other. And I always feel massively different. Whenever I've done that, the side I've done always kind of just drops down. I love it, it's so good. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So when you're ready, coming on to your other side, and again, ball in your armpit, palm facing up, knees bent, and we're just going to gently rock forwards and backwards here. Just noticing if it feels different one side to the other. Very nice. You wouldn't think, would you, that rolling out your armpit releases your shoulders and your neck? It's amazing, isn't it, how everything's so connected. Good. Alright, when you're ready, we're going to just again come up to seated, just to see how that feels. Just to notice whether we kind of feel a little bit more even. I do, I feel more even now. Hope that you do too. Okay, how are we for time? Good, we've got plenty of time. So, we're going to sit on the balls. Let's go back to our glutes for a minute. So, in that seated position, one ball under each cheek, and then hands down on the floor. And we're going to rock forwards and backwards this time. Alright, legs wide. Take your legs super wide this time. Okay, just switch it up. I think that my balls maybe have popped. Some furry little beast ran off with, he's had all of them. But I feel like one's going down. I may have to get some more. Alright, can you roll your knees in so that your knees come together, but your feet stay wide and rock? And then let's bring the feet in close and let the knees roll out. So kind of in that little frog or that little cobbler position and rock here. Alright, and then coming off, just pop those balls down. Okay, you can never do too much rolling for your bottom, I think. So, grab your ball, and I want it really quite squishy for this one. So can you see how mine's kind of quite deflated? We want it to be quite soft and squishy. So if yours is still fairly hard, just take a little bit of air out of it. That's okay. Okay. And then we're going to do, this is called a diaphragm release. So it's really good for your breathing, for tension and stress in your belly area. But also what it's doing is it's releasing your spine as well. So lie down and have your knees bent, your feet flat. And then kind of find the bottom of your rib cage. I'm going to place the ball on the bottom of the rib cage. I'm going to place our hands on top of it. Okay. And then take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to press into that ball. Inhale, just release the pressure a little bit. And as you exhale, again press into that ball. And that's all we're going to do. With each exhale, we're going to press down. And you can apply as much or as little pressure as you need to. And as far as feels okay for you. It can feel a little bit strange having pressure on the front of our body. It's something that we're not particularly used to, outside pressure. Maybe unless you wear Spanx a lot, I don't know. but it can feel a little bit strange. So just go and do what feels okay for you. And then we're going to switch that breathing pattern around. So this time, as you inhale, press into the ball. And as you exhale, release. Do that a couple of times. As you inhale, press into the ball. And as you exhale, release. 2 more. One more time like that. Now I'm going to move the ball down a little bit. I want you to bring it to where your belly button is. We're going to do exactly the same thing here. So we're going to press down on the exhale first. So take a breath in. And as you exhale, press. Inhale to release. Keep going. As you exhale, press. As you inhale, release. And then try switching it around. So you're going to press on your inhale and release on the exhale. We're going to move the ball down one more time. Bring it right down to your pubic bone. It's coming really down low. I need to straighten your legs out a little bit. Same thing here. We're just doing the breathing. We're doing the pressing and the releasing. Try it pressing on the inhale. Try it pressing on the exhale. Press and hold if you want to. You can't really do anything wrong here, but see how this feels. I really hope that you don't need a wee right now, because that might be not the most pleasant of sensation. But can you find again that little bit of pressure? Again, it's releasing through your spine. So pressure on the front of the body, releasing through the back of the body. So it's fairly gentle. It's not like when you're lying on the foam roller or something that's really hard. This has to be done quite gently, otherwise your body's kind of tighten up and stress out. So it needs to be done really gently and easily. And then just taking the ball away, let's just hold here and take a couple of breaths. So we're going to take it into a neck release now. So with our ball, it's again still quite deflated, we're going to place it under our neck. So not under your head, actually on your neck. Yeah. Depends how long your neck is, I suppose. It might be under your head and your neck. So just placing that ball under your neck and then just let yourself relax. Let the ball take the weight of your head so that you're not having to use your neck to hold the head. You can just totally relax. And then just find a comfortable position. I like knees bent. You can have legs out long if you want to. Let's take our arms out to the sides, palms facing up so you can roll your chest and shoulders open. And take some deep breaths here. Our neck does so much work. It holds up your head, and most of us don't have that perfect alignment. So if your head is stacked directly above your shoulders, stacked directly above your rib cage and your pelvis, and you're in that perfect alignment, your body is almost weightless. It's kind of held on a really nice foundation, and it doesn't take an awful lot of effort. However, you look around, most people have that head in that slightly forward position. So the more your head is forward, the more your neck is having to work to hold it up there. and your head is super heavy. It weighs, most people is about 10 pounds. That's a lot for your little neck to hold. So this is a little thank you for your neck. And you can do this as often as you like. So we're just holding our head in centre here, but we're going to start to move it a little bit. So I want you to go super, super slow and leading with your nose, take the count of 10 to turn your head to one side. So just go super slow as you gently turn your head to one side. And if you've got to 10 and you're still turning, that's even better, keep turning. Just turn until you can't go any further. When you can't go any further, just hold it there. And then when you're ready and you can't go any further, we're going to start to slowly bring the head back up to centre. And again, we're going to go super slow. It's going to take at least the count of 10, and if you can make it last even longer, even better. The slower you go, the more tension you're going to release, the better your neck is going to feel. Once you've gone back into centre, we're going to go to the other side, again super slow. Letting that ball just carry the weight of your head. You're just surrendering the weight of your head to the ball so that your neck doesn't have to do anything. Just keep going until you can't go any further. And then just pausing for a moment. And then slowly, slowly bringing your head all the way back up. Noticing whether the movement kind of feels smooth or whether it feels a little bit rigid, a bit blocky, a little bit stiff. Let's go again back to that first side. Once you've gone all the way to the top, super slow again. Turn your head back to that first side. And once you're there and you've gone as far as you can, we're going to stay there for a few breaths. Whichever side your head is turned to, the opposite arm is going to do a little floor angel. Can you slide that arm out along the floor and up towards your head? And then when you're ready, just gently slide it back down. Do that again. Slowly, slowly slide that arm out along the floor and up towards your head. And then back down towards your hip. Do it one more time. And as you release that hand back to kind of its start position, I'm keeping mine out to the side, palm facing. See whether you've got any more turn in that neck. Maybe you've released a little bit more and you can turn your head even more. Hold for a couple of breaths. And then let's start to super slow, bring that head back up, through centre. Take it over to the other side. Again, the slower you go, the better. Once you've gone as far as you can, and then no more turn, we're going to stay here, taking taking those deep breaths. See if you can soften a little bit more. And let's do that little floor angel again here. So opposite arm to the way your head is turned is going to slide out along the floor. Up towards your head and then slowly lower down. So notice any sensations your body's sending you. So on this side, my head doesn't turn as far. And as I start to move my arm up, on the opposite side, I can feel that pull, I can feel some resistance there. Let's do one more of those little floor angels here. And then as you bring your arm back to its start position, hold. And see whether there's any more turn in that head and that neck. Can you go any further? And then hold there for a couple of breaths. When you're ready, start to super slowly bring your head back up through center. And we're going to pause when we get back into that center position and just hold here. I want you to imagine that you've got a pencil balanced on your nose now. And we're going to start to draw tiny circles on the ceiling with our nose. Can you do little tiny circles? And maybe like we did with that knee, you want to start to spiral that circle out a little bit bigger. You can move as slowly as feels good to you. Again, the slower you go, the better it feels. If you don't like the circling, you can keep your head still. We're going to reverse and go the other way, so let's start small again. And then you can stay with the small circle, or you can start to spiral that circle out. Again, just noticing how it feels. Is it a smooth movement? Does it feel kind of jaggedy? And then when you're ready, just come to rest and center again. Let's just hold here for a couple of breaths. We're going to take that ball out from under our head now, so lift your head, take the ball away, and then just lie your head back down on the floor. Just take a moment here, feeling that length through the back of your neck. Maybe nod your chin towards your chest, and then lifting your chin towards the sky. Let's just do a couple of these little head nods here. Bringing your head to centre, let's turn our head to one side. Coming up through centre, turn your head to the other side. Again, turn your head back to that first side, hold there. Opposite arm down to the floor, let's do our little floor angel here. So opposite arm is going to go up towards your head. And then release down. We're just going to do 2 little floor angels. And then we're going to start to slowly bring that head in through centre. You don't have to move quite as slow as we did with the ball there, but don't go quick. Taking your head over to the other side, holding there. And again, let's do 2 little floor angels with that other arm. slowly bring your head in through centre. Lengthen your legs out long, reach your arms overhead. Let's just take a moment here to stretch from fingertips to toes. Make yourself as long as you can. Circle your arms out to the sides, bending those knees in. Just give your knees a little hug and just rock gently side to side here. Hopefully you feel as chilled out as I do right now. I really don't want to come up to seated, but I suppose we better hide when you're ready. Come on up to find a seated position. Check in, how do you feel? Move your head around. Move your shoulders around. You are all done. So thank you so much for being here. I hope that feels as good for you as it does for me. That feels awesome.